Greetings, my name is Tim Johnson. This is Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. Well guys, it's been a while, 4 weeks to be precise, roundabout, since I last made a video. And that's because my family has been visiting in stages. First of all, my oldest daughter and her husband-to-be for a week, and then my youngest daughter and a friend, and then my wife for the last couple of weeks. So it's been sort of 3 very different visits, which would never have occurred over a year ago. Just wouldn't have happened because they wouldn't have wanted to come here, and I wouldn't have been in any fit state to welcome them here. And it was an amazing time. I'll talk about it at length in a future video. But it brings me on to the reason for this video. The reason for this video is that next week I am 12 months free of alcohol. I'm also 15 months free of opiates. But alcohol was a major issue in my life. It's been one that's plagued me for much longer than the opiate addiction, the opiate dependency I was in. Alcohol has plagued me since my early 20s, and I'm now 57. And a year ago I would never have thought it possible to be in the physical, mental and spiritual state, if you like, that I'm in now, a feeling of true peace and happiness. And I'm not gonna make this a massively long video, but I just want to change the direction of the channel a bit, I suppose, because I want to break down into pieces, because a lot of the videos, I've made 70 videos over this journey, if you like. I started making them in the 1st of January, and that was the early days of my recovery. And please look back on all the other videos, because I hope they will help someone, and please subscribe and like, because it will help other people see them, basically. And the only gain I get is the pleasure of perhaps being able to pass some experience and help on to other people, and it's quite cathartic for me as well in recovery to make these things, and I hope they're useful to you. So yeah, look back. But this next set of videos, and I want to make sort of 5 or 6 videos over the coming weeks, and break down the last 12 months, if you like, because I'm now in a headspace and a clarity that I can do that, and perhaps pass on my experience in a clearer, more easy to understand way, if you like, and perhaps help some of you out there who are struggling. And I'm going to break it down into sort of 5 different or 6 different videos. I haven't decided yet, but certainly the first 30 days to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and then 6 months on, and then one on the future journey, something like that. And I want to share those with you, and share how I've reached this and achieved this, and really I want to give a big thank you now to everyone watching this, because the community I'm in the various private Facebook groups, the community that I first started with Ryan Donnelly, looking at him, and Kevin O'Hara, Alcohol Mastery, Ryan Donnelly's Calm Support, and all the people I've met along the way, the likes of, and there's too many to mention, but the Waylon B. Husker, Rockin' Roberta, Alicia, all these people, Rob. I could go on for hours and hours and hours, to be honest with you, on the people that have helped me on my journey, and I hope in some way some of my videos have helped them as well. Anyway, that's the way we're going to go with the channel, and I just want to sort of break down some of the ideas I've got, because I truly believe there's sort of 6 important factors, or 7 if you count the starting bit, into reaching this stage of sobriety I'm at, which, as I say, is 15 months off opiates now, and next week 12 months alcohol free, no mind-altering substances at all. And at this stage I have to say that I truly believe that the only way forward with this journey, if you've got an inclination towards dependence or addiction or excess in anything, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, eating, gambling, whatever your issue or addiction is, the only way forward with this is total abstinence from all of it. So I've been abstinent from any, not when I say total abstinence from all of it, I don't mean, I'm talking about certain behaviours, excessive behaviours, not total abstinence from sex or eating, obviously, but certainly total abstinence from mind-altering substances, which I've followed along the way. So the first thing, the first thing to mention here, I'm just going to break this down to 6 very quick stages, and these are all going to be included in the following videos over the next couple of weeks in much more detail, and hopefully with clarity, so that you'll understand where I'm coming from with it. Because really I've created my own program, if you like, and you should create yours as well. Mine may not suit you, and vice versa. I've incorporated some of the Alcoholics Anonymous. Some of the 12 steps are included in this, in the way I've interpreted them anyway. Although this has been my own program, I have to say now, I don't go to meetings. I don't disagree with Alcoholics Anonymous. It just wasn't for me. I think it does a marvellous job and really does help some people out there. So if that's the way you want to move forward, that's brilliant, because anyone that makes this journey or starts to make this journey is brave and strong anyway. So whichever way you go, it's a personal decision, whatever suits you. So I hope you'll see that the program I've created is helpful for me, and I hope you can take some elements at least from it and use them for yourselves. But the program I created is important because you need to get away from society's program. So our program needs to be a program of humility and compassion and kindness and generosity and selflessness, and love, basically, and I know that sounds a bit trite, but we need to get away from society's program, which is all about greed, selfishness, and the material world, material things, and the way you should look and the way you should be and what you should own and what you should have. We need to get away from that. So this program is really designed to do that. And the first thing you need to do in starting this is obviously admit you've got a problem, and admit that the problem's ruining your life, you're helpless, and that you want to change. So the 2 key things here are admitting the problem and wanting to change. Simple as that, and you've got to have a reason. That's a strong reason to change as well in your mind, I truly believe, because rock bottom is, it's a trite little saying, rock bottom, because all our rock bottoms are supposedly different, but there's another trap door that drops down below rock bottom, which is and it keeps going till you die, so rock bottom is just a trite saying, I think. And I think that you know when you're ready, because it took me 56 years to be ready, many attempts, 2 rehabs, Suboxone, a couple of years, counselling, psychotherapy. I had it all, and I had a fantastic life, job, family, and I trashed a lot. So it took me 56 years to realise that I wanted to change my life. Don't wait that long, please. Change it. Realize you've got the problem, realize you want to change. Rock bottom is just a saying, and everyone's is different, and like I say, the trapdoor under rock bottom is death, and that's rock bottom, isn't it? You just don't breathe no more. So change. You want change, you've got a reason to change, a strong reason to change, and then you seek help. So those are the key starting points. Wanting to, realize you've got a problem, wanting to change, a strong reason to change, and seeking help. Get those in your head. When you've got all those lined up and you're ready, then you can get into it. And I'm going to make the videos that, onwards, that'll take you into those first 30 days of sobriety, which, the first 30 days up to 3 months, it's hard. And I want to make this point now, because all of what I'm saying here, it's not as if I've just, or anybody or anyone who goes into sobriety just stumbles through this and it's easy, because it isn't. Because unless you're 100% committed, unless you put the work in on a daily, hourly, minute, second basis, some days, then it's not going to happen. You've got to have self-discipline. I've talked about this in other videos. Self-discipline, commitment, and consistency. Those 3 things. You've got to keep going and get your head down. It's a fight, and it's a fight you can win, though. This is what I'm point. I'm not a particularly strong person. I'm not some guru or anything like that. I'm just a normal man who's been weak most of his life and given into this shit and ruined. A lot of his life has been, and the people around him have been affected by my dependencies and life. I've realized at this stage that life's too short. We get a fleeting moments of consciousness. Do something about it now. But you need to be strong. It's a fight. It really is. However, right, I believe that the following sort of 6 things, I'm quickly going to go over these now because I don't want to make this too long or boring or anything, but these are the 6 things that I've included, and there's many more things along the way which I'll talk about in the videos I make onwards from this. But the 6 key things you need to build your recovery around are the following: gratefulness and thankfulness. I've said this before in other videos. Realise how lucky you are to be alive. Realise how grateful you should be for what you have, you know, however small. Take a look at people around you in the world that are suffering, and I know this sounds, you probably think, oh, fuck off, but you know, I'm telling you, if you go and work in a homeless shelter, or you go and you work with even with other addicts or people in poverty or whatever, and see what they have to live in, what they have to endure on a day-to-day basis, where they haven't even got clean water, then you realise just how lucky you are, you know, and be grateful for what you have, your family, your health, you know, at the moment, because you won't have that if you carry on, you know. So etc, etc, millions of things. I do it every single day, my gratitude list, and I'm thankful for it. And I work and part of the link to that, which is number 2, is giving back, because part of our recovery is giving back and helping others. If you don't include giving back and helping others, you won't feel truly fulfilled or truly happy. Now, I'm not talking about all of these things happening in the first 30 days, 3 months, or even 6 months, because a lot of this, what I'm talking about now, I've worked towards up to those 6 months and picked up 6 months and on into the year. So don't expect all this to happen overnight. You know, I'm just mentioning these things now for you to start thinking about them, and I'll include them in later videos. Giving back, helping, volunteering, just smiling at people, passing on positivity, happiness, kindness, generosity, humility, all the things our society seems to have forgotten because material things aren't important. Just helping others and being pleasant and is important, because it's the only true path to serenity. As simple as that. So giving back. Connection. Now this is different for everybody, connection, because I realise there's a religious angle here. But your connection can be anything, because most of us are disconnected these days and unfulfilled because of that. The gap that most addicts talk about in their gut, you know, that always wants filling with gratification and the feeling of restlessness and discontent and irritability, whatever you want to call it, is because we're not connected. Now, if your connection happens to be Christianity, God, whatever you want to call it, Allah, Buddha, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Mine's the Tao Te Ching, which is nature. I follow nature. As long as it has to be something you believe in, that's greater than you, really. You know, something that probably you can't even explain, but you want to be connected with. And the way to achieve that connection, in my case, it's meditation and yoga. I do that, and solitude and peace and quiet and silence is very important as well. But just observing nature and observing just everything about nature and the miracle of it, and stepping back and letting things happen, you know, and truly understanding it and being in the moment. It's all important. But if Christianity brings you that, because I think it was Jung that said about Carl Jung said about Christianity. I think I've got it written down here. Where is it? Yeah, Christianity. He described Christianity as a spiritual epiphany accompanied by community, which brings me on from connection to support and community, because these two things again are hand in hand. You have to have support. You have to ask for help when you need it. Don't, you know, there's no pride, you know, there's no lack of pride in that. Get out and ask for help. Be in these groups on Facebook. Go to AA meetings, NA meetings, CA meetings, if that's your thing. You know, I give my help by sort of volunteering, and I also do these videos, and I also involved in groups, constantly communicating with people. Talk to your family, talk to your friends. Community is really important, and support is really important, and they go hand in hand with connection. So, you know, spiritual connection, you know, you don't really achieve, you know, it's something you really, again, you're working towards constantly. You know, if we all could achieve a state of bliss, you know, it'd be a different world, wouldn't it? But, you know, you're working towards all these things all the time. But let me tell you, it just gives you a feeling of satisfaction and calm inside that you'll probably never experienced before. And these are all things you can work towards. Number 5, lose anger and resentment. Lose it, it's not worth it, it's wasted energy. Forgive, you know, because most of what we drink, a lot of stuff I drank and used on was an excuse based on my past and abuse from my past. And I've learned to forgive that, and I have forgiven that from a place of love. Don't hold on to any resentment, because anger is a fuel for addiction. Simple as that. So lose them, you know. Number 6, finally, I always mention these, but I'll go into these. I'll have a whole video on this, on my diet and exercise regime, which leads on to loving yourself. And because there's a lot of self-hatred and addiction or dependence, you know, but because I'm now fit and strong and I care about what I put into my body, you know, diet and exercise are extremely important in recovery for mental, you know, spiritual, the mind-body connection, for mental, you know, spiritual, physical health. Diet and exercise, prime. So all these things work together, and there are other things as well, obviously, you know. So that's it. That's all I wanted to leave you with for now. Just have a think on that. I'm going to make some more videos then. I'm going to break them up and break up into early recovery, you know, and things like that. But don't forget, you create your own reality. What you think, you become. It's simple as that. If you know, whether you think you'll succeed or you think you won't, you're right, basically. So, you know, you'll talk your head will talk you into whatever you want it to believe. So believe you will succeed. Get stuck in. It's a fight. You know, you have to lose who you are to become what you might be. That's a saying from the Tao, and it's very, very true. Create your own reality. Create your own destiny. And Nelson Mandela once said, it always seems impossible till it's done. And it's right. And this 12 months has been a massive journey for me, and a journey I couldn't have made without everyone that watches these videos. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And I'll leave you with this thought till the next video. Again, as usual, carpe diem. Please take the opportunity to seize the day, make the change, admit you've got a problem, make the change now, because it's the time to live your life and not just curl up and die. Have dignity, have self-respect, have self-esteem again, because that's what I've regained now. I'm regaining relationships with my family and my friends. It was so good to have my family here. I can't tell you how much, you know, it made me so happy to be able to pay for the odd meal, you know, or cook them a meal, or to look after them, to, you know, to contribute, which I could never have done before. So thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart. And if you're struggling, just hold on, because it gets better. It really does. So until next time, much love to you all. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.